Scusi, can I get directions to some hot Italian, boys?
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Scusi, we're back with part 2 of our international breakdown of Love and Gelato, 2022 right. Netflix flick.
Some say.
We have a main character who's got a dead mom, fitting all the tropes. Dead mom in Italy by herself, and has no agency, making no decisions, and that's about where we're at.
I think that's pretty. Yeah.
We got a rich boy, we got a poor boy chef, and she has just made out with the rich boy in the water.
That's right. A
little day swimming that she was forced upon to go to after being forced to jump off a waterfall, which she didn't want to do. So
yeah, we're all rooting against this guy.
Yes, rooting for her to make her own choice
for once.
All right, so then after the swimming, we're back at home. We're back at the godmother's house, and then she got her talking with her friend Addie back in the States. There, we're talking, chatting about touching North Pole or South Pole.
Where does hands go? Yeah, and she's like, not like that. And then also, Lena's like, are you with Fleetwood Zach right now?
Sure is.
Like, actually, it's like Zach Reynolds. I can't remember his last name. It doesn't matter. But doesn't matter. It's not Fleetwood Zach. I have a real name.
Yeah. And then this whole thing here, we got Addie doing some social media stalking on Alessandro.
Yep.
Because social media hashtags, right? Got to watch out for them hashtags. They'll get you.
This line, I think, like, it goes to a place that makes sense, but it starts with a place that doesn't make sense. So they're like trying to get a gauge of how serious he is about her. Yes. And he's like, did he hold your gaze? Do you have meaningful future plans? You're like, okay. And then she's like, wait, but why does he have no pictures of you on social media? You're like, I wouldn't even call that a date. Like, that's like they barely went on a date. He kidnapped her for a couple hours. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then we get a quick angry line, that pasta eating prick. Which, oh boy.
Okay. All right.
And Fleetwood Zach is, tell me lies.
Tell me sweet little lies. Yeah.
Lena's upset because he's apparently with some other girl. And she says, you don't mess with me, which is, I think, not true. It seems pretty easy to mess with her.
Yes, it seems very easy just to tell her what to do. She'll cower and just do whatever. So
that's right.
Because I think was the point was he said he was gonna be with his dad that night or something.
Yes,
and that
was
like,
he told me he had plans tonight, daddy dinner.
That's right. That kind of So then she has her second or third, I think, kind of Karen moment here where she storms out of the house down the street in her PJs. So I guess this place is. We're just right around the corner because Rome is very small.
Gets there quick.
Yeah, it gets there very quickly.
That's right. Rome is very tiny, as we all know.
Very, very tiny. And then she just charges into this fancy restaurant and just makes an absolute scene. And I hate this. I hate this so much. It's so... Yeah,
she screams at him. And he's like, it's not what it looks like. And instead of giving him 1 second to say what's happening, she's like... just berates him, like lays into him for like 5 minutes, and he's just like sitting there.
Yeah.
And while like the other girl is also just sitting there.
What is this crazy American you have here?
Yeah, very confusing.
I mean, can you not wear the MIT shirt or sweatshirt coming down here so then everyone knows like you're the crazy American just screaming at people? Right. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then the girl that he's with, like, kind of wraps up the scene, and she's just like, really? You're always such a piece of shit. You're like, jeez.
What I love that insult. I love calling people pieces of shit.
Yeah. Like, so aggressive.
Oh my God.
You're always such a piece of shit.
Always.
Like, he's done this a million times.
A million times. Constantly. Not a million times. He always does it.
Yeah. Classic Ollie.
So then we're at another restaurant, and she's just getting drunk reading mom's diary. Because now she's an alcoholic because she got introduced to vino.
Yeah, and she's learning about her mom's first love, X.
Yeah, X gonna give it to you. Sorry.
R.I.P. Pouring out for the big man.
Sorry, it just popped in my head.
Yeah, robbing gas stations in New Jersey heaven, I'm assuming.
X gonna give it to you. Well, I think he did. So then,
he tells her he loves her, and like Lena's basically just projecting her own experiences onto her mother. Like, he's lying. Like, he's a lie. I bet he's a lying liar. And like, causing a scene again, like slamming her book around the table. There's like an elderly couple nearby, and they're like, what the fuck is this girl doing?
I hate this so much.
She goes to Greta's, the secret bakery, and
banging on the door. Come on,
smashing on the door. And she's like, I'm not here for you know what. And then immediately says, I am exactly here for you know what. I just need a little fix. Give me a little taste.
Give me a little taste. Give me a little something. Like,
yeah.
And she's like complaining about the rich kid to this woman. And I was like, this lady doesn't care. Leave her alone, you drunk jerk.
Pastry doesn't lie or cop a feel under a waterfall. Like, pastry's nice. And Greta explains that's because her pastry doesn't have a penis.
Yes. Okay.
Truer words.
Moving on.
Yep. And basically, so she's walking around still, eating the pastry now, reading the diary, talking about how the guy doesn't call her back.
Streets of Italy. She's just drunk. Yeah.
Real dirtbag.
Yeah. And then awkward, the cousin shows up.
Yeah. So she's sitting on a roof now.
Yeah.
Howie,
you sly dog, you.
Yeah. He rolls up and he's like, there you are. Friend's been worried sick.
Yeah.
I thought I'd find you here. You're like on some random roof in Rome.
I ever told you how much you look like your mother? I was like, God damn it, Howie. Have I mentioned that?
He's like, pastry kind of night, huh? Want to talk about it? And she's like, no. And then the whole next scene is them talking about it.
This is about the halfway. We're coming up to the halfway point. Still no gelato there. Nope. So we were on the roof, and she confesses about the rich kid to
Howie. This is on the stairs now, presumably on the building of the roof. I don't. No one knows. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's
and basically he's like, "Wow, this is good pastry." He's like, "Cold hands." That's the secret. And so Howard's like explaining to her. He's like, love's a lot like walking, and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "You just do it." And she's like, God. Have you ever been in love? And he's like, well, one time. And she's like, did she not feel the same way? And he's like, it's complicated.
Have I ever told you look a lot like your mother?
Yeah, Lena's like, I've got plenty of complications of my own. Like, I can. And then Howard's got his lines are. I hate the dialogue in this movie because he's just like, you know what they say, like, you can throw in the towel, but sometimes the towel has a mind of its own. That makes no. That's not.
Who? Brandon Campbell. Brandon. Right? Is it Campbell? Camp. Brandon Camp.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
He's like, like this hate and this love, and some, hate's just love gone wrong.
What is this?
I don't think so. And then, to further lean into the Howard is her dad thing, she's like, well, do you know anything about this guy X that my mom was dating? And he's like, I can't say exactly. You're like, well, he sounds like a real asshole,
but he's gonna give it to you.
That's right.
God damn it.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Yep.
So then that's the end of that scene. And then we were seeing from the trailer, wiki time from the godmother. And then she spots that the diary's open. It's open to the spot where it says "Mia prego."
That's
right.
That's right.
It's in Italian.
That's exactly what it says. Yeah.
Pregnant part.
Sono incinta.
So Lena quickly looks it up thanks to the help of Siri, and mom was pregnant.
She's like, what does sono incinta mean? And you're like, she speaks nearly perfect Italian. She got 5 on the AP exam.
You know what preggers means? Come on.
Right.
Come on.
You're 17.
Yeah. Grow up.
Yep.
So then we're in a car ride and with
Fran and Howie.
Going to visit some friends out on the countryside. And Lena just keeps reading about the past and learning more and more about it. Yeah.
And meanwhile, Fran and Howard are in the front seat, like having a conversation about her finding out who her father is. And you're like, and she can understand she can understand Italian.
She got a 5 in the AP exam.
She got a 5 on the AP exam.
I just want to strangle everyone here.
Yeah. And basically she's like, she gets to a part where it says Howie, and she's like, what? Howie? You're my dad? Like, and she's like, it talks about Howie not stepping up and being sorry about the baby. And then like they almost run over a goat because everyone's freaking out now in the car.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
It's a very frustrating scene. So then we get to the countryside home here. There's other people. I don't have no idea who they were. It's Lorenzo, his girlfriend.
It's Lorenzo's family. Yeah.
Oh, it was his family. Okay. Yeah.
It's his mom's. It's his two moms and the grandmother and the girlfriend and somebody else too, I think. But like, it's a big crowd.
Yeah. It's a big crowd.
Maybe a cousin.
It's a big crowd for a foreshadowed of like making a scene. Yeah. Come sit, eat, right?
Yeah, exactly. Manja.
So then this poor kid, he's doing all the cooking. And then we get the ice cream scene from the trailer.
Yep. It's pretty awkward. Like this whole scene's pretty awkward.
Yeah.
They do like a bit about Lorenzo's making like weird pasta and stuff. Like he's being creative, and Nona's like not having it. It's kind of
and it's that whole thing to come up now. Like he's like the contrario cook. Like he does things different and
right. Exactly. Yeah. So basically, he's like complimenting Lena's Italian in this scene too, which is again like, we know, we get it. And Nona's like, go in and explain about the pistachio gelato. Finally,
we get gelato. This is our first gelato.
Still barely any love, but we're getting plenty of gelato now.
Plenty of gelato.
And like you said, the scene from the trailer where Nona's like, ice cream? Are you fucking kidding me?
She calls it ice cream. Yeah.
Is it Michelangelo a drawing? Like does all these like analogies of like, no, like this is a masterpiece thing that you're about to consume. It's all about passion, and like there's the secret ingredient that Nona's like, I can't tell you. And she's like, is it vanilla? Is it cinnamon? Nope. It's and Nona's like, yeah, making gelato is like a dance between partners. You have to stir together. And like Nona knows that Lorenzo has a girlfriend who's going to show up in a second. And like, no, you dirty Nona.
Yeah. You making a gelato.
Stop encouraging this.
You making a gelato.
Yeah. She obviously hates the girlfriend, but
clearly
still.
Septum piercings, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And pink hair. Who does that?
So alternative.
So it's mealtime. We're hanging up at the table and we're all having meals, right? And
well, just to put a pin in the girlfriend thing, she yells at him immediately. Like when she shows up, she's screaming at Lorenzo.
Oh, that's right.
Why are you standing there like a boiled potato? Which is that an expression?
It is now, I guess. I don't know.
And then she's like, why am I not the one churning the gelato with you? And he's like, you hate churning gelato. Yikes. She's like, well, yeah, but still. And she's upset about Lena. And then so she like in Lena's face, she like goes up and just starts making out with Lorenzo. And Nona's like, nobody's finishing my gelato. Get to work. Yeah. And then it's time for dinner.
Okay, so then we have the dinner, and it's all, kind of going
barley
fine.
And pesto, lasagna cupcakes, which you're like, Lorenzo, maybe don't make.
Let's go easy with the
lasagna cupcakes.
Il contrario here.
Yeah. But everyone's drinking and they're happy for the most part, right?
Yeah, and then there's like, then we get Georgia talking about secrets and stuff like that, and then basically
she's like a race car driver.
Yeah,
was also confusing to me. That's like not a normal profession for anyone. Like what?
No,
I wanted more about that.
Yeah, like really, what division are you? What kind of cars do you race? Yeah. This is fascinating.
Meanwhile, Fran's like, Howard, you got to talk to Lena. And Lena's like, I'm sitting right here.
Yeah.
And Howard's like, yeah, lay off. Like, you get it. And then Howard's like talking up Lorenzo a bunch. This is the whole Il Contrario thing. He's like, he's a rebel. And Lena's like, yeah, a real rebel, unlike someone like you who's a liar.
Yeah.
And Howard's like, what? Whoa.
Snaps again and has a big Karen moment again. And she's standing and she's making this big scene about the diary and the thing. Like, have a little bit of a little tact. Like, this is a conversation you can have at home or somewhere else. Like, hey, can we step off to the side? You got to talk to me here.
Which is what Howard says. And she's like, no, we can't do that because I'm upset.
Oh my God. I hate this so much.
Yeah. And so then basically she's like, my own father can't be bothered with me, blah, blah, blah. And she like storms off. And it's like, bon appetito, everyone.
Bon appetito, motherfuckers.
Yeah, basically. And Fran's like, Howard, you have to go talk to her now. And he's like, all right.
Fine. So they chat and he's like, I'm not your father.
Yeah.
Can we go back?
How could you not tell me you're my dad? And he's like, because I'm not.
Can we go back and eat, please?
Yeah.
And don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
This one was confusing for me too, because he's like, there's no possible physical way that I could be your father, which I know. And after the fact, I know he means because he didn't hook up with her mom. Like he never hooked up with her mom like he wanted to.
Yes.
But you're also like, is it because you're infertile or
yeah?
Like I was like, maybe he's gay. I don't know. Like I was like, there's so many other ways this could go.
You can't just leave it like hanging like that. Like, and here's why.
Physically impossible. Like, do you not have a penis?
Yeah. Are you just a pastry?
I've been a pastry the whole time.
So yeah, we find that he's not the father, or whatever. And then we do learn that the mom hooked up with the professor, the photography guy there, right?
Her actual father, Matteo Fossi, who's a real jerk, apparently.
Yeah, don't meet him. He's not worth it.
You're better off without him.
Yeah.
So. And he's like, sorry for not telling you earlier. For some reason, your mother wanted you to discover this on your own. Like, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Like, why do this to people?
It's cruel.
Communication is the best way.
That's right.
And then they head out, right? And then they get back to, they're somewhere, I don't know, they're in like a hallway staircase, whatever. And we got Alessandro creeping on her. He's on the stairs waiting for her.
I think it's back at Fran's house.
I think
they're always going back to Fran's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, Fran's like, do you want me to get rid of him? Like, I can take care of this.
Like, please.
Lena's like, no, I've got it. Don't worry. And she's like, all right, go home. And he's like, look, baby, it was an old friend. I'll never do it again.
Miss Goozy, Miss Goozy, huh?
You can't say it was an old friend that I'll never do it again. Like that implies that you did something wrong. Like if you're actually just meeting up with an old friend, then it was fine. And she's basically just like, now isn't a good time. And so then he just like stands there.
I hate this.
Is now a good time?
But dude, I hate you so much. Like she's like, this isn't a good time. Like I want to you don't get to force your emotional state on me if I'm, you know what I mean? Like this got to be a team effort here. You can't just be like,
learn about my father.
Yeah. And then he makes her feel guilty about it too. And he's like, ugh, fine. And just like walks away or like, I hate you. I hate you so much.
I've never had anyone worth trusting me before. That's why nobody can trust me. Trust me though. This time.
Trust.
Yeah. He's like, I am sorry though. And then he just like walks away and she looks kind of like angsty. And you're like, good. At least he left.
Yeah. And didn't force her to do anything like, talk or something,
Yeah.
And then we're at the godmother's house. Yeah, we're quick. Yeah. And then she's doing some what was it? What was the Google search thing? Babio? What was it?
It was for Matteo Fossi. Yeah, she was looking for her dad. Yeah.
No, but what the Google search engine was like.
Oh yeah, it was like
something
Biblio or something.
Biblio, yeah. She looks up
some Euro search engine.
Yeah.
Listeners, tell us about it. What do you think?
Yeah. How's your search engines? Don't you have Google?
What do you search? Yeah, they definitely have Google.
Yeah, why aren't you using Google? Actually, probably a little more restrictions on because
they do have privacy. Yeah.
They have privacy over there. Then she researching the father. We had a little train ride. And look at that.
The next day.
Small Italy world. Guess who's on the train with her?
Lorenzo.
Just so happens. Our boy. Also, our poor guy.
Happens to be going to Florence for his like competition audition thing.
Yep. His Top Chef audition.
And Lena apologizes, thankfully.
Yeah.
Kind of. She's like, sorry about your meal yesterday. It was really good. I fucked everything up. And he's like, don't worry about it. Nona's right. I should stick to basics. The meal was only okay.
Yeah.
And then he's like, are you okay? Speaking of okay. And then it's like, she's like, and then it's like cut to them sitting on the train and she basically tells him everything, which thankfully they gloss over.
They kind of do like a quick little whoop, and we cut back to him just being like, oh. And then he gives her this, so he's supposed to bring like a special thing he's made to this competition, his test there. So he brings a gelato because it's that's going to crush it.
Known as special gelato. Yeah. And he's like, here, you need this more than I do.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not in the mood for that. And he's like, that's the point. Gelato makes you happy.
And he forces gelato on her, and she's like, ugh. And he's like, wow, holy shit, this is delicious. And she eats the entire thing.
Yep. And she's like, what's the secret ingredient? And he's like, well, Nona says, when you know, you know.
What the?
So frustrating.
Just say Just say it.
Just say
it.
Just say it. And then they get off the train and he's like, why don't I walk you to your dad?
Yeah.
And I can also show you Florence and stuff. And she's like, sure, I'd love to not go see my dad. Oh my God.
Then it's just a Florence
Any
montage.
excuse for a montage.
Yeah. We need to extend this runtime. Florence montage and another Italian pop song. And just Florence, statues.
On a bridge, walking
goods,
around, flowers, statues. Yeah.
Views.
Everything's so good.
They have a moment and he looks at her. He looks like kind of like an awkward frog. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's just like, wow. And then they go to a grocery store and
his
they
favorite
go grocery
place
shopping.
is the market.
Yes, the market. And she's asking him about like George or whatever. What's their deal? What's their deal? He like
privacy's not a thing for her.
Yeah, and I love how he just like totally ignores her and like then opens up like, oh, we're friends. We've been friends forever. We're doing long distancing. It's not going to work. So
you have to check out these truffles.
Like,
and she's like, truffles cause acute respiratory diseases.
Well, like, okay. All right, thanks for that fact. So they've been dating for 2 years. They've been knowing each other, since they were kids, blah, blah, blah. But they're breaking up because she's going to racing school.
Like, what? He's like, long distance is too hard. She's going to like the next town over. Like, what? And then he's like, so what's the deal with you and Ale?
Yeah.
And she's like, why don't you like each other? Like there's just like basically like dueling questions with each other.
Yeah.
And she's like, sorry, I'm so annoying. And he's like,
no. And he just says no, and he just walks away from her. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Leaves her in the market. Like,
yeah,
who does this? This is like a child. You're being a child. Stop being a child. Get back here. And she like follows him out, like out of the market, and is like, sorry about that, I guess.
Yep. It's so dumb. So then basically like he's like, yeah, like Alessandro was like in a group of guys that made fun of my mom when we were kids, and that's why I don't fit in with the rich people, obviously. Clearly. Like I'm poor chef guy.
Poor guy. Yeah. But I can make a gelato.
Like, yeah. And then meanwhile it's like the church bells of Florence ring, and he's like, oh, it's getting late, we've got to go. Jesus. Oh my God. So
they they have to go. So they each give each other some pumped up, fired up, right?
Yeah. Well, he's like, she's like, I don't want to go see my dad. I'm not going to go. And he's like, listen to me, you have to go. And if you don't, like, if he doesn't like you, that's his loss, because he doesn't get to know how cool you are. Awesome. And she's like, oh, thanks. Good luck. And then they like leave. They're like, well, we'll meet at the train at the end.
Yeah.
And then they walk away from each other. But then she's like, actually,
wait a second. Hold on. I've got some tips for you.
Lorenzo, you got to be the contrario. Like, you gave me a gelato orgasm earlier. And he's like, aw,
you're weird.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I ate your prize dish that you're not gonna get into the school because I ate.
Yeah, he really, really messed up. And then he's like, all right, well, smell you later.
See ya. And then we kind of have like this cut back. Yeah, and then they separate and we kind of have this back and forth. So she goes to the museum, the photography museum here, her dad's museum.
Rings the doorbell, which the museum apparently is a doorbell.
Yeah.
And then just walks in. Like,
yeah.
Like rings the doorbell and then just walks in, and like it's like a gallery. There's nothing in there, basically.
Yeah. And there's like some gallery attendant or whatever there. And she spots a photo of her mother.
Yeah.
On the wall.
Yeah. And the gallery attendant, she's like, welcome. Like, are you here for a photography class? And she just ignores her. Like, Lena's basically like, I'm here. And like walks over to the photograph, just like stares at her mom. And the woman's like, hey.
Yeah.
Like, are you okay? Like, like, what's going on? And she's like, I need to meet Mr. Fossey. And she's like, who the fuck are you? Yeah. She's like, I'm his daughter. And she's like,
dun, 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 yikes. And she walks away, and we cut into the cooking school, the chef challenge here. He's like, they're like, yeah, you see, you brought something for us? And he's like, yeah, I was going to bring gelato. I'm going to do some improvisation here.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm kind of a contrarian. And they're like, oh, what? So Italian food isn't good enough?
Like, yeah. You think we don't do good enough here? He's like, oh, no.
It's not that. And they're like, fine, start the clock. Let's ride.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah. And then we come back to Lena, and she's still staring at the photo of her mom. And like, you can obviously hear her dad like talking to the attendant, like off camera. And she's like, oh, sorry, I thought he was here, but he's actually at a meeting. He's not actually here.
It's like, this is like, well, I don't know why. Like, there's like the third or fourth time in this movie where there's people within earshot of her having a conversation about her and thinking that she can't hear this. It's like,
yes.
Why is this a thing?
So stupid.
Why is it a thing?
And so she's like, what? Like, and she like storms to the back and like opens up the door to see him. And he's just like sitting there, like, and he like looks away.
It's like a little Italian turtle. He's like, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
He's like eating a cupcake out of the trash in
the corner. And then she steals
storms off. Grabs the photo off the wall, which, like, listeners, we didn't tell you, this is not like a 5x7. This is like a 2 foot by 3 foot framed.
Does she have it on a train with her later? I forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she steals.
Like, you can't do that. And she's like, watch me.
She pulls a real Italian job here and steals the. I was going to use that as one of my pitches, but I was like, too much. It's a tight reference. So then we're at the train station, and Lorenzo meets Lena. She's crying. Dad thing didn't go too well. Food audition didn't go too well. Everyone's lost here. It's mostly because she ate the gelato on him.
She's like, how do you say screw him in Italian? And he's like, screw him.
That's it.
Okay.
Then they kiss, and it's a very awkward kiss. It is not.
It sure is.
It's not. It makes no sense. It doesn't feel right. So.
Yep. And then like rom-com music.
Yeah. Time for a more Italian pop music transition montage in a scooter ride.
Yeah. They're cuddling on the night train. That's right. She's like watching out the window of Italy, and then they get off the train, and he's puts her on the back of the scooter again, and they're riding around the night city, very romantic like.
Night city.
And again, she's like, I'm sorry about your audition, by the way. And he's like, well, I chickened out and didn't take your advice. And you're like, oh, well, no wonder you fucked up then.
Yeah. Improvise backwards is not a good idea. So.
Yeah. And he's like, I blew it, but I don't want to blow you and me.
Hold on. Let me reword that one. I don't want to blow us.
I want you to blow me.
But wait, no. I'm doing this all wrong, aren't I? Like, what an awkward thing. Don't use the word blow when you're going to say, like, I don't want to mess things up. Just say, you know what? I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah. Easy enough.
Because if you throw the word blow in there, you are going to mess it up.
And she's like, this is a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. You have a girlfriend. I don't even live here. And he's like, yeah, you're right. It couldn't be more messed up, but isn't love kind of messed up?
She's like, whatever. See you, poor guy.
And she's
Get
like,
out of here.
Yeah, today was a lot. Bye.
He's like, okay.
Yep. Hate it.
So stupid. And then we're in the godmother's house, study, whatever, right? And of course, Howie shows up. Awkward Howie.
Yep.
And So he shows up, and then like so she's like, I think she's planning on leaving. She's like, I'm just gonna go home, blah blah blah. And he's like trying to convince her to stay. He wants her to stay. And like I was like, this is the point where I was like, this connection between the two of them is very strange.
Right. Like he's either her dad or
we gotta
sinister.
we got a fourth wheel in this love triangle. Right. I'm like, what is? You do look. Have I mentioned you look a lot like your mother? Like,
you look so much like your mother.
Damn it! Stop being so
sexy mother.
Your sexy mother. So much. Your hair smells the same. It's like, what is going on? So she's like, and she hands the camera back to him, and then Howie's about to leave, and the godmother's like, you can't go, you can't leave. Just yells at him. And just like,
I just want to get on with my life.
Yeah. And he's like, you can't be leaving. You got to be here for her. And I was like, this is getting even more stranger now that Fran, the godmother, is like, you can't leave. Yeah. You have to love her. I was like, what? No.
Yeah. Fran's like, just like you let her mother go too. And you're like, wait, what?
She does look a lot like her mother, doesn't she?
Yeah. And then she wraps it up with, she didn't send Lena here to find that asshole. she sent her here to find you. And you're like, so is he her dad? I'm so confused.
Or is he gonna be her lover? What's happening?
I don't know. Yeah, sex dad.
Who knows? So then we're godmother's house during the day, right? And Addie shows up.
Buzzing.
Yeah, friends. The
friends
packing.
Here. Yep. Yeah. And she's like, Fran, get the door. It's like a classic Cartman. Like, man, get the door. And she's not showing up. So then finally she goes out and it's Addie. Miss Guzzi, can I get some directions to some Italian hot boys? Let's go. Hot boy summer. And apparently then they like get into, they're like, for some reason, they're like, oh, Addie was your 911 girl. So you're like, your mom said that you had to be here alone until you threatened to leave. And then she said it was fine to bring Addie here.
Because you have no decision-making skills at all. Right. So we're forcing you to stay here. God damn it. Like,
yeah. Yep. And it's from the trailer. Fran's like, I'm going to like this one. Just before we move on to the next one, the dialogue in this part is awesome because the mom, like Fran is like, your mom brought us all here together like a family. And you're like, what? And then for some reason, Lena just goes, and how? Yeah. And Howard's like, I like the sound of that. And you're like, wait, what?
I caught that too. And I was like, and how is in like the old timey phrase from like the 1940s. And how? Like, oh, that's a great thing. Like, great idea. Or that's cool. Like, and how? I was like, how? Oh, or does she mean like, and how we?
I don't, maybe. And then Howard capping it off with, I like the sound of that. What?
It's just turned into like 1950s dialogue. And how? I like the sound of that.
How does this fit together? You're not a family. So then we're walking around eating cannolis, right? Talking about boys.
Yeah, we got Addie and Alina talking, just chatting away, right? And
you got to pick one.
Yet again, she's forced into something by someone else. No one cares what she thinks.
And Addie's argument for this is like, if you don't pick one, tonight's going to be awfully awkward because we're going to that party at Ale's house. And she's like, what? Stop making me do these things. And Addie's like, you think I didn't come here not to party? Like, we're going to party.
Worst.
Like, you got to pick and plunge.
Ever.
And she's like, I don't plunge. Like,
this is, okay. Can we?
God damn it.
So then we get some touristy montage stuff, I think, right?
Yep. And mom we get mom narrator diary again, but apparently by this point in her Italian journey, she has switched to writing her diary in Italian for some reason.
She's learned all Italian now. So okay. And this is all a scene from trailer from her walking along the water, touching all the locks, and then she finds the lock that she had written Howie's, right? Howie's name on it. Is that where this goes?
No, that's like that is part of the scene, I guess. But like at one point she's like she sees Addie and Howard together and they're like, they're getting along well. And basically like the mom is raving about Howard in the journal, in the diary. And that's when you're like, oh, she liked him too. But they could have been lovers, but she got pregnant with that dude.
He's a pastry. Professor. Yes. He's a pastry.
He's a pastry. So, and that's like, somehow miraculously she finds this one lock. She's like, in Italy, there's a tradition to put a padlock on like a fence, and that means your love will never end. And the key is there in the diary. And like, there's no clues about where to look or what, right?
She just strolls along a bunch of blocks and finds
tiny town Rome.
Yeah, everything's right there. It's
like
all
we said.
It's only a couple stones away. So
oh my god, it just makes me so mad. And then we cut to the mansion party, right?
So we're at the mansion party here, and the friend's like, "Hey, you good?" And she's like, "Yeah, I made my choice." And like, I was like, "No, you didn't. Everyone's made a choice for you through this entire movie." Yes. So, and then. Yeah, I don't know. So then the Alessandro shows up and the friend basically threatens the rich kid and is like, all right, I'm going to go see you later and hit on your hot friends.
If you're mean to him or if you're mean to her, then, I'm going to have words with you. And she's like, so where are the hot guys? And he's like, on the dance floor.
And she just disappears.
Yeah. And then Lena goes on and she's like, I've had time to think about how much I like you. And like, but at the same time, you act wild and happy all the time, and that's not true.
Yeah.
And so like, if you don't know where you're going, how can you get anywhere with me?
I mean, that's just travel logic.
Yeah, I guess so. And this is when we get to Russ's prediction of like, it's really about finding yourself.
It's all about finding yourself. That's yeah.
And then that's when Georgia shows up.
Yeah. I was like, okay. And she's like, Lorenzo, girlfriend. Yeah, we need to, oh shoot, we have to have like that rom-com run for the
train station here.
Yeah, so not the airport. Like, we get the train station. So
yeah. She's like, Lorenzo isn't here because of you. Like, he snuck off to like, and then Ali's like, wait, what's happening? And she's like, oh, you didn't know about Lena sneaking off to Florence and hooking up with Lorenzo? And he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, you basically made him leave for Paris. Now he's like following his dreams and not playing it safe like a friggin' idiot. So he's like running off to Paris. And Ali's like, see, Lena, we're so screwed up. Like, we're meant to be together. And Lena's just like, that's your pitch?
Yeah. That's
finally okay. Lena's standing up for herself.
Guess I'll see you later. And then instead of the airport run, we get a train station run.
Addie's like, why don't we steal this motorcycle? And you're like, what? Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that at all. But they do. And this is all of the stuff from the trailer: scooter ride and the circle joke.
Yeah, Rome's like NASCAR, but with more yelling, is what she says about how they drive there.
Alrighty.
And then somehow they make it to the train station. Unbelievably, they should have died.
They do. Yeah, and she's super awkward. It's kind of
so awkward.
It's kind of like painfully. And then he's like, kissing you wasn't a mistake, right? But then she goes into her dead mom talk again.
Right.
Not the greatest transitions. You got to work on that. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And basically, like, she like does like a lot more screaming about screwing them all. Bastards and bitches of the world, which I was like, whoa, this is a kids movie.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes here. Yeah, I think, right?
I think so. And basically, like, my dead mom helped me realize getting swept up in the right thing at the wrong time is still sometimes the wrong thing, and you can't take back things, and all the things that we do together are things, really. It's about finding myself, and so I need to choose me right now.
Yes.
Lorenzo's like, how annoying it is that even when you're giving me bad news, you're still awesome. Fuck you.
Can you just let me get on a train, please, and like leave me alone? Like, if you're not coming here to make out or whatever, and tell me you love me, we're going off, then why? Right. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. So they literally just shake hands and they're like, good luck.
See ya.
I hate it so much.
Just like send him a text. You could have texted that. Just be like, hey,
yes,
I found myself. See ya.
So dumb. So then we're sitting on a bench.
Oh my God.
And mom narrated diaries happening again, and she's like, I'm leaving today, and like, I wish I'm so glad that I have my daughter, like my first true love. You never forget your first true love. She was talking about her daughter,
right?
I hope she lives life to the fullest,
right? Right.
And she's like, I'm gonna try, Mom.
I'm gonna do my best.
And then our man.
Okay.
Howie.
Hey, Howie,
baby.
Daddy. Howie, baby. And how?
And how? He like sits with her.
And I was like, I really hope they kiss right now.
That would have been amazing.
What?
Yeah, because they should have. Like, he's sitting there. He's like, I'm really going to miss you.
What? Yeah, like this is just not lining up correctly.
You spent a couple hours together, realistically.
Yeah,
I don't understand any of this. And she's like, you know what? I was supposed to come here to figure myself out, and so I'm deferring a year, and I'm staying. You talked me into it.
Let's do this, baby.
Yeah. And Howie's like, this is when he says like the most ridiculous thing in the whole movie. Finally, he's like, if being a father is biological, then whatever. But if it means worrying about you, wanting the best for you, thinking of ways to damage guys that want to date you, I'd really like it if you considered me your adoptive dad,
aka daddy.
And you're like, what? Like, I'm just sitting there like, what? And then Lena goes, thanks, Dad.
What? And then they cuddle. This is so awkward. It's so weird.
This doesn't make any sense. The character development has not led to this.
Not one bit, but it just is leaning so hard towards a different outcome. It's a little more, it's not oh God.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh my God.
Fuck you.
Italy, 1 year later. And maybe we could tell it's a year later because she's got a new haircut.
Yeah, she's got short hair now, and she
bangs
found her passion for photography.
Right. And then she comes across the bakery, and it's for rent. The secret bakery, right? It's for rent. And
super
then
sad.
Because hey, we all know Roma's a really small town.
That's
so
right.
Renzo just shows up.
Yeah, he's like, hey, he's like, not cool how you that crazy American girl put that secret bakery out of business, and she's like, what? And he's like, just kidding. I'm taking over the bakery. Greta retired.
Miss Guzzi, that's an Italian joke. You don't understand Italian humor?
You can tell it's been a year because he also got a haircut and a tan. So
and he's wearing sunglasses. So he's
wearing sunglasses.
He's cooler now. He's cooler in that 1 year.
He's so cool. And the name of his new bakery is called A Contrario. Because of course it is.
Oh my God. And they're chatting for a bit, and then awkwardly she just falls over.
Yeah.
Like trips and falls.
He asked her, he's like, wait, so have you been here this whole time? And she's like, yeah, like a whole year. While he was gone, he's like, we could have dated. Like, we could, like, you could see it running through his mind. He's like, what do you, God damn it.
And how in the 1 year, this town is so small, apparently, that you guys didn't run into each other, but now you've run into each other? Like,
well, he's been in Paris. So.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. He was in Paris. That's right. Yeah. So, okay, I'll give that. But,
yeah. And so, God. After she trips, she's like, some things never change. I'm clumsy. And he's like, good.
I like that.
I like you just the way you are.
Yes. Unless there's things I want to change about you, which I'll tell you about because,
Right. You'll do them.
Because you'll do them.
Like now, he's like, by the way, Nona's making dinner tonight. She made gelato. We'll have to take my Italian death bike to get there. And she's like, no. We'll take mine. Of course, she bought her own scooter.
Oh my God. So then, which is pumpkin colored, obviously. And then they're cruising through the countryside, and there's a goat at the end. The real hero of this movie.
Yeah. Literally the last scene is they're riding through the countryside back to Nona's house. And she goes, by the way, I figured out the secret ingredient. And he goes, better late than never. And then the goat's like, ah. Yeah, the last line is, I hate it.
Oh my God. Whew. That's it. That's how it ends. That's Love and Gelato.
The secret ingredient was inside us the whole time.
What? God damn it. Oh boy.
Man.
All right.
What a bummer.
Yeah, what a real bummer. Well, let's ameliorate real quick here. Make this movie an hour and a half. This cut out so much. Give our main character a little more agency here. Like it literally, she's just being forced around by everyone. That's not how you discover yourself.
She's an adult woman. She should.
Yes.
Well, almost. I guess she's still
17.
A kid.
Yeah. But
well, by the end, she's 18, I guess.
Right. Because of the year. Right.
Yeah.
You can tell by the haircut.
Right.
I felt like there was the friend storyline. She doesn't even need to be in the movie.
Yeah. Cut Addie entirely.
Cut all that awkwardness of her just like making social media. Like you can get rid of all of that.
Get rid of the Ale character, like the book. Like don't invent a character.
Yeah,
like that.
Don't need it. Get rid of. We don't need. There's too many montages and there's too many. Yeah, there's too much. Cut that stuff.
Give me something scandalous with Howard. Like either he wants to bang her or he is actually her dad.
yeah. Give us something a little more meaty there because I don't know that storyline was also just kind of
super boring.
Yeah. Let's see what else is there.
More Fran.
Yeah, Fran was great. Godmother. Yeah, she was good. More of her. Yeah, but definitely just chop this down. This doesn't need to be an hour and 52 minutes. That's too long.
No,
too long.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
Give me more gelato up front. I want more gelato, right? So
cut the whole scene at the end. Have her just not end up with Lorenzo. Have her be like, it's about finding myself. And then she's like, good luck in your journey, Lorenzo. And then they just end the movie.
That could be the end of the movie.
Yeah, like totally fine.
You don't,
cut the last scene.
Cut it all. Yeah, I don't know.
Goats.
More goats. I'd take more goats. Yep, more goats. More gelato.
Less love.
There wasn't really much to begin with, but
cut it all out. Make it like a, I don't know, action movie. Make it the Italian Job.
Yeah.
More Mini Coopers.
Yeah, more Mini Coopers, and have like the make it a heist of the dads.
Make it a heist.
Make it a heist of the dickhead dads like museum. That's like worth a ton of money.
Oh yeah, we're doing vengeance on the dad.
Yes, do that.
Way better.
Way better movie all of a sudden. Okay.
All right.
Well, I think that's it. I think we're done here. So
wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for listening. We're back next week with a new movie. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That, ITMT Pod on Twitter. Subscribe to us wherever you listen. YouTube, Spotify's, and share with a friend.
Yeah. Or share with strangers and leave us a review. 5 stars would be nice. Maybe a comment. Apple Podcasts. Let's do that. Spotify, at least you can do stars, I think. A nice little rating and downloading would be lovely. And if you don't want to do that, cool. Yeah. That's fine. But you should send us an email.
Yeah. Yeah. Do that.
Tell us why you don't want to leave a review. Tell us we're not good enough. Give us
that feedback.
Yeah. Constructive criticism. Maybe a segment that you always dreamed of.
Deconstructed criticism too. That's good.
Maybe just write about meat. Something totally doesn't make any sense. We like those too.
Gelato recipes.
Crazy email. Gelato recipes. Yeah. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. Or you can go to the website where you can find all the information we just said and then some. You get the whole ITMT back catalog. You've got the link to merch and t-shirts and mugs and whatever else you want with ITMT art on it. Great place on the internet. It's thismeetsthat.com. Check it out.